Good morning, children. Welcome back. In the previous video, we have seen about the buoyancy concept, and now we will see the application of buoyancy concept, in which we are going to learn about the Archimedes principle, and this is the very applicable concept. Okay, the Archimedes is a name of a scientist who invented this Archimedes principle, gave this Archimedes principle. Okay, so what is this principle? When an object is wholly or partially immersed in a liquid, it experiences a buoyant force or upthrust. Okay, buoyant force is also known as upthrust, which is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the object. Means what? I'll give you an example. Okay, just imagine or do this once in your home. Okay, take a bucket. Okay, take a bucket full of water. Then what do? It should be fully what you can say, filled with water till the rim. Okay, or take a glass filled with water till the rim. And now just do one thing, take a metal ball or any of the metal thing, any of the solid box or solid sphere which you can insert in it. Okay, just insert in it. What will happen? Some of the water will fall down. Correct, some of the water will spill or fall down from the glass. So what the Archimedes told, that when the ball was immersed partially or completely into the liquid, it experienced the buoyant force, which was equal. This force was equal to the how much water, means if I say that from 200 ml 50 ml was spilled out. So what was the buoyant force acting on it? 50 newtons. Okay, so what was the force? 50 newton. So what he told, that buoyant force acting on an object is equal to the weight of a liquid displaced by it. Means what exactly is happening over there? The metal ball or metal sphere which you are inserting or immersing in the water, in the glass, the space which was not there for the metal box, he is creating that space in the glass. And what he's doing, come on, now I have to come inside. So water, please go outside, I'll sit on in your place. Correct. So this is known as Archimedes principle. What are the daily applications? Archimedes principle is used in determining the relative density of a substance. Then hydrometers used for determining the density of liquids are based on this principle. The lactometers used for determining the purity of milk are also based on Archimedes principle. And then this principle is also used in designing the ships and submarines also. This is a very important application. Okay, so next concept is why objects float or sink in a liquid. Correct, you can see the objects over there, that is cork is there, wooden cork, and the iron nails are there. So when it is thrown in the water, iron nail sinks and the cork floats in the water. So why this is happening? See, when an object is placed in a liquid, two forces act on it. First is weight of the object acting downwards. Correct, it is the what you can say, the object is free falling in it, so the gravitational force will be acting on it. Okay, so that is the one force. Second, buoyant force, that is the force acting upwards, which tends to push up the object. Correct, so weight of the object is going downwards, and the liquid, what is doing, he is trying to push the object upwards. So there are two forces, weight of the object and the buoyant force. Now, whether an object will float or sink in a liquid depend on the relative magnitude of these two forces acting in opposite direction. So, when you put an object in a liquid, three cases arises. If buoyant force exerted by liquid is less than the weight of the object, then the object will sink in the liquid. That is, if the buoyant force, is what you can say less, then what happens, the weight is going to be more, and then the object will go down. If the buoyant force exerted by the liquid is equal to the weight of the object, then the object will float in the liquid where it is suspended. It will not go down also, and it will not go up also. It will be suspended in between, because the weight and the upward force, the buoyant force, both are equal. Now, if the buoyant force exerted by the liquid is more, then the weight of the object will be low. Then what will happen? The object will rise in the liquid, and then the object will float. Okay, did you get? There are three cases. If the buoyant force is less, then object will sink. If the buoyant force and the weight are equal, then the object will suspend in between. Okay, and if the buoyant force is more than the weight of the object, then the object will float. Okay, so there is a principle of flotation. An object will float in a liquid if the weight of the object is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by it. That is the Archimedes principle over here. Okay, that is, weight of the object is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by it. A floating body may be partially or wholly submerged in the liquid. The liquid is displaced by that portion of the body which is submerged under the liquid. Okay, the density of floating objects. Okay, now we will see the density. An object will float in a liquid if its density is less than that of liquid. We have seen in the earlier slide. Okay, an object will also float in a liquid if its density is equal to that of liquid, but an object will sink in the liquid if its density is more than that of the liquid. The two difference between the first and second case is just that the object, if the an object will float in a liquid because the density, it will suspend in between in the second case, and in the first case what will happen, the object will float. Okay, see here, the two examples are given over there. Iron block sinking in the water because the density of water is low, but iron block floating in the mercury because the density of mercury is more. Okay, the density of medium is changing over there. Okay, next is, how does a boat float in the water? Okay, you can see the boat there over there. When boat is gradually lowered into water, it displaces more and more water, due to which upward or the buoyant force acting on it increases. Correct? When you go inside the water, what is going to happen? The force is going to, the weight is going to generate into the water, and what it will do, what the same example which I gave you of glass, and what I told to do the experiment. Okay, when you put a metal sphere or metal object in the water, what is going to happen? The water will spill out. The same thing happens in case of boat. The water is going to displace more and more, due to which the buoyant force also starts increasing. The boat stops sinking further down into the water when buoyant force acting on it is just enough to support the weight of the boat. If so, that's why there is a limit to the weight of the people boarding on the boats. Okay, if the weight increases, what will happen? The buoyant force will be less in front of the weight, and then the boat will start sinking. When the boat is floating, the weight of the water displaced by the submerged part of the boat is equal to the weight of the boat. Correct? There is a line over there, that is Plimsoll line. So that is the submerged part of the boat. So this submerged part is displaced by the weight of the boat, and the water is equal. Okay, when more people get into the boat sinks more. As long as the weight of the boat and the people together is equal to the weight of the water displaced by the boat, it floats. When no more water can be displaced by the boat, it sinks. Okay, what I have told, that if the weight increases, what will happen? The buoyant force will get lesser and lesser, and there will be no place for the water to displace. Okay, and then the boat will start sinking down. Okay, so what we were talking about, the density and relative density. So what is density? The density of a substance is defined as mass of a substance per unit volume. Okay, density is more related to the mass of a substance per unit volume. So density is m upon v, that is mass of a substance upon volume of a substance, that is d is equal to m upon v. Density of substance is one of its characteristic properties. SI unit is kilogram per cubic meter, that is kg per meter cube. CGS unit is gram per cubic centimeter. Okay. Next concept is of relative density. The relative density of substance is the ratio of its density to that of water. Okay, what you can say, relative density is density of substance upon density of water. That is, relative density RD is equal to ds upon dw, that is density of substance upon density of water. The relative density of a substance is also defined as ratio of mass of any volume of substance to the mass of an equal volume of water. That is, mass of a substance upon mass of an equal volume of water. Same, there is nothing change in it, just the change of, that is weight. What we have said above is density of water. So what is density? Mass and volume. Okay, so just below definition is given in terms of mass and volume, and the above definition is given in terms of density. Okay, there's no any much difference in between these two definitions. So relative density of substance expresses the heaviness of a substance in comparison to water. So how much heavy it is in the water is told by the relative density. So why we are going to study the relative density? To just measure how heavy the object is compared to the water. As the relative density is a ratio of two similar quantities, it has no unit. Okay, you have to remember this for MCQ question, objective questions, that relative density does not have any unit because it is a ratio. Okay, it is a ratio and not any unit. Okay, see here we have a chart of densities of common substances, that is a cork, then wood, ice, water, glycerine, glass, aluminium. Okay, it is density, relative density is also given over there. Then this relative density also determines some reflections, refractions, then many other concepts are dependent on relative density. Okay, the mercury is given, gold is given, and then the platinum is also given. So there is a highest density is given is of platinum, and the lowest density is given of cork. Okay, so children, here we have completed the topic, and I hope you have covered and you have understood what all the concepts are. I hope you will read the lesson carefully, because the lesson is very easy to understand, and do not make a fuss of it that there are so many definitions over there, so many derivations are there, so many formulas are there, numericals are there. Please do not worry about it. Just read carefully and go through the video also. You will get point wise whatever you have to write down in this video also, and the textbook also. Okay, same points are written over in the textbook also. So please refer the textbook and read it carefully. Learn the formulas and learn the value. So what I have mentioned, the concepts, if you want the concept of buoyancy and the concept of Archimedes principle and the what you can say laws, you can request me, or you can just put it on the group. If you want it again to be explained more easily, then I'll surely explain you again. So please notify me if you want it to be explained more deeply. Okay, thank you children.